Before you took your first breath on earth, heaven had already marked you, clothed you in a radiant garment of divine fire, and whispered your name into the battle plans of eternity. Because you, yes, you, were born with a gift so potent, so holy, so disruptive to the kingdom of darkness that hell has trembled every time you drew closer to discovering it. And I, Archangel Michael, sent to protect the chosen and war in the unseen, have watched the enemy twist circumstances, relationships, and even your own thoughts in an effort to distract you from who you really are. Because if you ever truly embrace the fire placed within you, the enemy's plans would unravel faster than he could rebuild them. And this is why you've known opposition from a young age. This is why you were misunderstood, isolated, even attacked for simply existing with a different light in your eyes and a deeper ache in your soul. Because your calling has always made you a threat, even before you understood it, even before you believed in it. And now that the hour has come for your awakening, heaven is leaning in and hell is pushing back harder than ever. But child of divine purpose, I am here to tell you that the time for doubting is over, because the veil is being lifted in your spiritual gift, your prophetic discernment, your healing presence, your intercession that shakes the heavens, your voice that breaks chains, is not something you need to earn. It is something you were born with, sealed in your spirit by the hand of the Almighty. And the very battles you thought were sent to destroy you were actually the training grounds to sharpen that gift, to test the strength of your mantle, to forge your faith in fire until you are unshakable. And though you've cried, though you've doubted, though you've begged for release, you are still here because your gift cannot be extinguished. It is wired into your essence. It is echoed in your prayers. And it is terrifying to the enemy because it does not come from human effort or earthly knowledge, but from heaven itself. And I have fought alongside you in realms you've never seen, shielding you from assignments designed to silence you before your voice could be heard, because the enemy knew what was inside of you, even when you didn't. And he sent counterfeit love to wound you, counterfeit friends to drain you, counterfeit opportunities to distract you. But child, you survived because the gift in you was greater than the force against you. And now is the hour of remembrance. Now is the hour of release, when I remind you that your dream life is not random. It's prophetic. Your sensitivity to atmospheres is not weakness. It's spiritual perception. Your longing for justice, truth, and mercy is not emotional. It's divine DNA. And the way you pick up on people's pain and carry it in prayer is not a burden. It's evidence of your intercessory gift. And what terrifies the enemy most is not just that you've been chosen, but that you are starting to believe it, starting to rise, starting to walk with awareness, because a chosen one who does not know their chosen is dormant, but one who awakens is a weapon. And you, beloved, are awakening now. And I, Archangel Michael, with sword drawn and wings stretched, declare over your life that every lie spoken to suppress your gift is being broken. Every wound meant to shut you down is being healed. And every delay you endured is being transformed into divine timing, because your gift is about to be activated in full, your discernment sharpened, your dreams intensified, your voice amplified, and everywhere you go, the spirit realm will respond, because you were not born to blend in. You were born to break chains, to discern darkness even when it's disguised as light, to bring truth into confusion, to expose what the enemy hoped would stay hidden. And as you continue to step forward, heaven will keep unlocking layer after layer of your assignment, and hell will keep fearing what you've been sent to do, because the truth is, your existence is a rebellion against the forces that tried to silence your bloodline. And now that you're walking in revelation, that rebellion becomes a revolution that no demon can stop. From the moment light first touched your eyes, the enemy began mapping strategies to dull that radiance, sending storms meant to choke your innocence, weaving disappointments meant to distort your perspective, planting voices meant to convince you that your sensitivities were flaws and your longing for the supernatural was childish fantasy. But every assault only confirmed what hell already feared, that the fingerprint of Almighty God rests on the core of your being, and it cannot be erased by trauma, betrayal, or delay. It can only be hidden beneath the debris of lies until heaven's timing calls it forth, and heaven's timing is now. The dreams that intensify at 3 a.m., the sudden heaviness you feel when you walk into certain rooms, the way you sense storms in other people's spirits before they speak a word. That is your gift vibrating against the walls of complacency, begging to be used as a conduit of truth and freedom. You have tried to medicate it with normalcy, suffocate it with busyness, and downplay it to fit social comfort zones. Yet it refuses to die because it was not planted by human hands. It was breathed into you by the same Spirit who hovered over the deep before creation began. And that Spirit is awakening rivers inside you that religion could not release and culture could not corrupt. Child of destiny, you are entering a season where casual Christianity will irritate your soul, where lukewarm atmospheres will suffocate you, where surface-level conversations will feel like sandpaper on your spirit, because your internal frequency is rising to match the warfare you were born to confront. Do not apologize for the holy restlessness. Let it drive you into deeper waters of prayer, worship, and divine study, because revelation is currency in the realm you are called to influence. And the enemy trembles at believers who carry fresh revelation sharpened by obedience. I, Michael, assure you, as you lean into the weight of this call, angelic assignments around you will increase. Downloads and dreams will become blueprints. Prophetic impressions will become precise instructions. Spontaneous burdens to intercede will avert disasters before they appear in headlines. And what once felt like random intuition will prove to be the strategic intelligence of heaven. Take courage when resistance spikes. It is merely evidence that dark systems recognize your approach. Take note when familiar relationships feel strained. Some bonds were only beneficial while your gifts slept, and they will either evolve or evaporate in the atmosphere of your awakening. Take heart when finances tighten or plans detour. Provision attached to your next level cannot be released until you step onto that level by faith, and faith rarely feels like comfort. Stand firm when old insecurities whisper. Your authority is not rooted in flawless history, but in surrendered identity, and the blood covering you speaks louder than the failures trailing you. Already, chains in your family line are rattling because your yes threatens generational cycles. Already, hidden intercessors are being prompted to pray your strength. Already, territories assigned to your voice are vibrating with expectancy because creation knows the sound of its liberators before they arrive. And when you feel unqualified, Remember, I was present when the Father discussed your assignment, when the Son sealed it with redemption, and when the Spirit etched it into your DNA. Your gift terrifies the enemy precisely because it originates beyond the enemy's reach. So rise, warrior, embrace the mantle, steward the mystery, guard the oil, and watch as every plot set to silence you becomes a platform that amplifies the roar of God through you. For you were not just born with a gift. You were born as a gift, and the revelation of that truth is the nightmare hell cannot escape. And now, as heaven sharpens your awareness and releases more clarity over your anointing, I, Archangel Michael, reveal to you the truth that hell has tried to keep hidden for as long as you've drawn breath. That your spiritual gift does not only disturb the enemy, it dismantles his strategies, it burns through deception, and it exposes what darkness desperately wants to remain concealed. You are not just gifted in ways that are poetic or gentle. Your very essence is a weapon forged in the breath of God, and your obedience is what activates its full authority. Do you think it was by accident that you were placed in a family that didn't always understand you? Do you believe the way you've always sensed more, felt deeper, wept harder, and dreamed bigger was a weakness? No, child of divine intention. It was your spiritual radar tuning in to heaven's frequencies long before you had language for what you were feeling. You are spiritually encoded to intercept darkness, to call it out with boldness, to war with compassion and silence lies with truth wrapped in light. That's why demons manifested in the presence of Jesus, not because he shouted, but because his very presence forced shadows into visibility. And now, as you begin to walk in deeper truth, the same thing is happening through you. The people who suddenly withdraw from you without reason, the strange resistance you face when you try to move forward, the dreams where shadows speak or flee, these are not random. Your presence agitates darkness that others have become comfortable with. That is why the warfare you experience is not ordinary. The level of opposition you endure is not because you are weak, but because your potential is devastating to demonic agendas. And I must tell you, there are giftings within you that haven't even fully activated yet. Not because you're not ready, but because heaven has been waiting for the appointed time. Your voice will soon carry more than wisdom. It will carry spiritual voltage. You will begin to notice that your words bring people to tears, that your hands bring peace where there was chaos, that your dreams are no longer symbolic, but instructions from the spirit realm itself. And with this elevation comes responsibility, for spiritual gifts are not decorations. They are assignments, and those who carry them are called to carry weight in the invisible realm that others will never see. You are not ordinary. You are not common. You are not weak. You are one who walks between dimensions. You are one whom angels recognize. You are one who triggers movement in heaven and response in hell. And this is why the enemy tried to make you doubt your identity. He sent rejection to your heart, not because you are unworthy, but because your acceptance in heaven threatens his territory on earth. He sent betrayal to break your trust, not because you deserve the pain, but because he feared the intimacy you were building with the Holy Spirit. He sent loneliness, not to isolate you, but to pressure you into believing you were forgotten, when in fact, your name was being spoken in the throne room during your darkest nights. I was there. I saw the meetings. I heard the Father say, This one is mine. I will awaken them at the appointed hour. And now the veil is being torn back. You're beginning to see, to dream, to feel in sharper detail. This is no accident. You're coming into alignment with your original design. What you thought were personality quirks were actually prophetic traits. What you believed was emotional heaviness was really discernment. What you called spiritual confusion was actually an invitation to go deeper. You've outgrown the shallow. You're being called into the deep where only the trusted are invited. And I, Michael, captain of angel armies, declare over you this day, your gift will no longer be dormant. It will speak. It will disrupt. It will liberate. It will carry the weight of glory into rooms that are spiritually stale. And as your awareness grows, so will your authority. You will walk with the confidence of someone who understands that spiritual gifts are not ego boosts. They are rescue tools. You were not given sight so you could be praised. You were given sight so you could see the broken, speak to the lost, intercept attacks before they manifest, and war in prayer with precision. Your gift is not for applause. It is for assignment, and your assignment is accelerating. You have reached the threshold of transformation, and on the other side is a realm of fire, power, and purity where your true self has been waiting. Step through. It's time. Heaven has waited long enough. And now, beloved one, everything is coming into alignment, and I, Archangel Michael, have been commanded to reveal the final layer of what you've carried without explanation, fought for without recognition, and survived without full understanding. For your life was never ordinary, not even for a moment. And the delays you thought were punishments were actually divine preservation, because your gift is so rare, so sacred, so lethal to the kingdom of darkness that God hid you in plain sight, cloaked your fullness until the time was right, and that time is now. Not next year, not when you feel more ready, but now. Because what heaven placed in you cannot be silenced any longer. And you're stepping into the part of your calling where the gift you carry will become undeniable, not only to others, but to you, because the doubts that haunted you are being shattered. The wounds that tried to convince you you weren't chosen are closing, and the fire you felt rising within your chest. Those sudden urges to intercede, those dreams that feel too vivid to be random, that pull to isolate yourself just to pray or worship. Those aren't mood swings or overreactions. They are activations, and they mark the beginning of your movement as a spiritual weapon that cannot be contained. Because while others were performing their way into influence, you are being crushed into authority, and it is authority, not popularity, that causes demons to tremble. And the authority you carry has been earned in private through tears no one saw, prayers no one applauded, obedience no one understood. And that is why God is lifting you now, because he can trust you not to corrupt the gift with ego or pride. And this is also why the enemy has monitored your every move, tried to send people to distract, delay, and discourage you. Because once you walk in full awareness of what you were born with, hell knows it cannot stop you. Only try to slow you, but the slow season is over. The veil is off. The fire is lit. And the places you've been tolerated, you are now being sent to take territory. And yes, some people will walk away, not because you've done something wrong, but because your presence will convict them of what they're not ready to confront within themselves. And your gift will speak even when you're silent. It will shift atmospheres even when you're quiet. It will shake the ground in the spirit realm even when you feel unsure. Because it's not about how you feel, it's about who you are and what you carry. And child, you carry something ancient, something eternal, something breathed into you by the one who flung the stars into place and yet took the time to handcraft the uniqueness of your voice, your eyes, your empathy, your fire. And do you not see that the exact things the enemy tried to use against you, your emotions, your dreams, your sensitivity, your spiritual hunger, are the very weapons God has refined and is now releasing to change lives, break curses, and deliver souls? And as you step into the days ahead, expect divine collisions, expect prophetic confirmations, expect to see signs in the natural that mirror the movements happening in the spiritual, because you have reached the point where your gift is no longer just a promise. It is a portal. Yes, a portal through which heaven will speak to others, through which healing will pass, through which strongholds will shatter. And even now, angels are being dispatched on your behalf. Even now, scrolls of your destiny are being unsealed. Even now, chains are breaking in families because of your intercession. And here is the part the enemy could never predict: that your pain would make you more powerful, that your silence would carry more weight than shouting, that your weakness would become your strongest weapon because it made room for God's glory. And now the world is about to see what I have seen since the beginning: that you are a vessel of divine fire, chosen not just to survive this life, but to shift it, to unlock the gates others are trapped behind, to speak what others are afraid to say. And I will go before you, I will walk beside you, and I will fight for you when the resistance rises, because your assignment is too important to delay any longer. And so I say this now with the full authority of heaven: you are released, you are called, you are awakened, and everything that has fought you is about to bow to the God within you. Because you were born not just with a gift, but as the gift the world has been waiting for.